Hi there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading. This is Yetta Pearl, and this is your general angel reading for the week of April 25th through May 1st of 2022. So here, your cards are slow this morning. For me, it's morning. I don't know what time you're watching. Anyway, okay, so we'll just keep going and we'll get them out as they decide to come out. You can't rush these things, you know. You have to just wait and be confident that the right cards are coming out when they need to. So now we have half the cards out, so we'll just wait on the other half. And let's see what's going on for you for this week. Okay, angels. They're taking their time today. And in general, yes, I prefer that they take their time and get the right message for you. But at the same time, it's like, sometimes it's so quick and so they just pop right out. And other times it just takes a minute or two. All right, so now we have all of them out. I'll just have a look here. Okay, all right. So let's start with this card, which is, the first card in the reading. I have two different decks. So we have the Archangel Gabriel deck and the Goddess deck. Now, not gender specific for this, it's just from the goddesses, right? And three cards of each. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And so that might have been backwards for you. So for me, it's this way, but you're watching from the other direction, right? So when there's three rows of two cards in each row, then we kind of go generally, like it can be different at times, but the first row is generally kind of together as a pair. They will relate to each other, and so on in the reading. So anyway, we'll just see if that's how it is for this time. So the first card that's out is this authenticity card. Trust that your real self has the strength and knowledge needed for this situation. You are very knowledgeable. You tend to do research. You tend to look at things pretty deeply before diving in, right? And so you have to just trust that you do know what's going on, right? Trust your gut feelings. Trust that your real self has stepped forward, right? And that your knowledge is not going to lead you astray. There comes a time when, there isn't more research to be done. You've done it all. You've learned what you can learn without physically doing it yet yourself. And you have to kind of take a little leap of faith and trust that what you've learned and what you want, what you project, what you're creating is going to work out. Maybe not in every detail. You might have to switch some things and whatever, but that the situation itself is going to turn out fine. Okay. All right. Yeah, you have the strength and knowledge needed. When somebody's asking you your opinion, your thoughts, your ideas about that, try not to go off like half knowledgeable. Don't act like you know more than you do. If you don't know very much about that, or you have your gut feelings about it, but you haven't ever articulated it before, make sure just, if somebody's asking you, make sure that you don't just go off and spout a whole bunch of stuff that you're really not sure what you're talking about, and you're not really sure, but you think they're expecting you to know. It doesn't matter what anybody else expects. If you don't know it, just say you don't know it. Or if you don't know how to say it in words correctly, then just say that. I don't know how to do that. Right? Instead of misrepresenting yourself. Stay in your own authenticity. Okay. Now, everything in life, every single thing has a cycle. There's the beginning, the rise, which is the middle, and the end as it tapers off and it loses its usefulness to you, or it just comes to an end. It gets used up, however that ends up being. Things just have those cycles, and it's perfect. So something is coming to an end. You might not be all that happy about that coming to an end. Maybe you enjoyed that. Maybe you're attached to that. But that end is always on purpose. It's always because it is just finished. Let that be easy. It doesn't have to be a difficult thing. It doesn't have to be you upset over the loss of something, right? You can just acknowledge that, okay, this came to an end. And you can be sad about it, of course, whatever. But still, let it be as easy as it can be. And that makes room for the new cycle to begin, which, at first glance, you might think that you're not going to enjoy that as much or whatever, and maybe you won't. But you do have to give it a go. I mean, how else can you keep going? All right. Now, this is also, okay, so now we're into the second row, top and bottom. Allowing yourself to receive. So this is kind of also with the cycles and the rhythms of life and things. When a new thing is starting, that is you receiving that. Receiving the new thing, allowing it to start easily and joyfully and, arms wide open. Letting yourself receive information, downloads, knowledge of situations, knowledge of what it takes to be authentic, knowledge that when you're not authentic, other people can identify that. You're not invisible. You're not invisible. People can see you. People can read you. They understand when you're real and true and there, and they understand when you're not. And that's true for everybody, no matter what you think your level of intuitiveness is or whatever, right? Allowing yourself to receive enhances everything in your life. It makes everything bigger and brighter and better, and brings to you all the prosperity that you're looking for, all the friends, all the relationships, all that, everything plus more that you haven't even thought of yet can come to you when you are allowing yourself to receive. Okay, so do you understand? Like, do you realize it when you're blocking something? Do you feel how your energy just kind of stops and you don't allow it, even though sometimes you want to, but maybe you feel like a charity case or something. If you receive, somebody's trying to give you something, you feel like, oh no, then I would owe you something or whatever. Like we have all these reasons, I guess, for not wanting to receive. None of them are valid. The more we can open up our own selves to receive all the goodness around, the more open we can become. And then the more that can come to us. And the more we will have to share with everybody else. It's beautiful. Okay, so you have this beautiful moment. It is spring. And so spring tends to be the time of renewal and fertility. New plants grow and, new ideas blossom and people get creative and get started on their projects that they've been mulling over all winter. And for some of you, this might mean you're having children or that you, in some other way, your family is expanding. So, in those cases, congratulations. And it's just a beautiful time of year to create all this newness, and it smells fresh, and it's amazing. And so you've got all this stuff, all these ideas rolling around, and it's time to get going on them. It's like you've been impatient, you've been chomping at the bit trying to get going on these, and now it's time. And it feels absolutely wonderful to be able to do that, doesn't it? And to get going. Although like sometimes there's a I don't know if it's like a stumbling block or what it is exactly, but it's like you've been in the planning mode for so long, like for the whole winter, and now it's time you can actually get started, and it's like, how do I do that? I don't know, right? So then you have to just pick something and start. And it'll maybe feel difficult at first because you're not used to the actual physical action of it. You're used to the mental action of it, right? And you have to transition into that. But you can do it. It's great timing, and you can definitely do it. Okay. So there's something here going on in your life. Something, let me just feel into this. Something that you've been looking at. Is this the same thing that you've been researching? You've been trying to discern all the details, all the everything, and you're making a lot of progress, but there's things you're missing, like things that you don't know about yet. You can't seem to find out anything about that, or there's something missing and you don't even know what it is. It's time to find the expert on that situation, on that topic, and ask all the questions and ask them to tell you all the things that you might have missed. People are not always forthcoming in that way. It's very frustrating sometimes when you ask directly, like, what am I missing? What else can you tell me? What do you know about that I haven't discovered yet? And sometimes they just won't. I don't know why. So that's very frustrating. But so you might have to search around. 2 or 3 different people is what's coming to me. You'll have to ask different people the same questions on the same topic before you actually finally get all the answers. And so that's what this is. Like, find somebody, an agent, somebody who knows those things, and they can handle that for you. They can provide that information for you, right? This doesn't feel like well, no, okay. For some of you, this is actually an agent who acts on your behalf, representing you to other groups, right? In some instances, like, you need an agent. You have to have one to represent you. You will not be taken seriously if you don't. So it's like this next step, right? And it feels like for some of you, you've already taken that step. You have this agent, you have this, person representing you. You need to kind of check and make sure they're doing what they said they're doing, what they're supposed to be doing. Because it feels like for some of you that you think you've looked after that, but the person is not fulfilling their end of the bargain. So you need to check on them and make sure they're actually doing it, and doing it well, doing it the way you want them to be doing it. No, you don't know how their industry totally works, but if they are representing you in a manner that you disagree with, then you get a say in that. It's not just all based on what they think they know. And again, same thing, you might have to go through a few before you find one that really jives with you. Okay, all right. Now, one of your best places is home. Home feels pretty good these days, and you enjoy staying there. You enjoy being there. You enjoy, your things you're doing. It pleases your eye, pleases all your senses when you're there. And if there's part of that doesn't please your senses, why not change that? What an idea. Why not change that, right? So, yeah, home is your safe place. as it should be. Feels really good. Okay. All right. So here, let's grab the daily guidance cards and we'll see what's one last piece of wisdom that your angels want you to know for this week. Yeah, kind of the same. We talked about this a little bit already. The cycles and the rhythms and the being able to receive. Giving and receiving is something that needs to be in balance most of the time. So if you find that you're doing a lot of giving, that's when you really need to allow yourself to receive so that you don't get emptied out, right? And giving in all terms, like we could be talking about your energy, your ideas, your assistance to other people, your money, your time, all those different things, plus more. If you're giving, giving, giving all the time and you're not receiving, then it's not going to take very long before you feel very drained. You have to allow yourself to receive. And same the other way. If you feel like you're just always receiving, 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 you got to start giving. Because that's what puts it in balance. And that's what creates this beautiful flow. This flow which creates infinity and infinite abundance. Right? Yeah, awesome. Okay, Taurus, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you more than you can possibly know. And I love you, and I will see you next time.